I play golf with friends with many of my friends, and they act like it is hard to be okay at. So I wanted to demonstrate how a couple basic classic plays I would handle some holes to show them how the game works. If we come to the first hole, I usually like to turn around and blast full power directly in between these two squares. You see where I line it in, and fire. It usually drops in the hole pretty consistently from there. It's not a rough shot. For hole 2, it's always 1.5 power straight ahead. It just kind of falls in at that speed, nice and buttery, no problem. Hole 3 is I go full power and I just kiss the white tip to the end of that spinning barrel, and one way or another it usually bounces down into the hole like so. Just full power blast that one every time. This one I used to just do 2. Now I go a little bit over and I like to fire right when the plank centers out, right there. Yeah, that's pretty good. Something like that. Hole 5 is 1.5 power, 1 square to the right, all the way to the end, but I've been kissing it up a little bit harder. I filmed 2 runs at Forest. One was 32 strokes, which I felt was too high for this video. I made a lot of simple mistakes. That one was pretty self-explanatory. This one, it's a real hit or miss for me. I turn around and I do 3.5 power off the back wall. I used to do 2.4 power forwards. I think it almost is more consistent. I usually bounce out of the hole with this one, which is going to happen right here. A little bit off, a little bit too much heat. Probably dial back the power a little bit would fix that, watching this video. This one I do 3, right? Kiss those squares directly to the center of that tree trunk behind the thing, and it just likes to fall in. Bow bow. The next hole is one of the harder ones to explain. So you see the square I'm aiming at, and you can see a tree off in the background. And I like to go 3.75 power just to the right of that tree. You'll see it lining out in the background. There's a tree trunk. I like to aim just to the right of it and out. And the ball will either bounce once and roll in, or it'll go straight in, which it did on the first run. But that's pretty... Usually don't miss this one. This, I mean, obviously the windmill, 2.5 power straight ahead, really hard to mess up without, unless there's collision on, someone knocks you out. Even if it overshoots, it usually falls back in. Sometimes it doesn't. It's rare, but the way I just said rare would be a lot louder. This one is not so hard to aim. I didn't aim it right. It is possible to hole in one, and I have done. It's about like that. I'm a little bit to the left of where I need to be. It's more important to time out these spinning propellers. There's me angrily throwing my arms about because I was a little to the left of where I needed to be. There's a lot of pixelization happening on my preview. I hope it's not like that in the video. Okay. This one you want to get real close to the edge and fire full power. I'm a little bit too close to the edge. A little bit wider gap would have hole in one this, but I was too close, and so that's what happened. But aiming a hair to the right from where I aimed would put it in a hole in one position. This one I can do in 2 sometimes. I like to do 2.25 straight ahead, and then I look where I'm at, because if I'm a couple squares back, it's 3 power, a couple squares forward, it's 2 power, and I like to aim it zoomed out, or I can really just try to bounce it off that flag. This one was not one of the 2 shots, or even close to it. Normally, it shouldn't have an extra wall bounce there if it was done right. But 3 is okay for this hole, and this is just a general strategy I use to be, you know, how I play. This one, 3, it took a long time. It took so many aims to try to figure this out, but 3 in this piece of wood right here. I remember I used to play with someone and they watched me try a million times and miss, but that's how I do that one. Shoot it right where those 2. Those people, there is a hole in one to the left. It's much riskier than just shooting the easy albatross, which is full power at the right target, and then, you know, whatever, half power into the hole. Half power, not half power. I used to aim over the right target, which I showed in the other video, but then I started aiming over here. At watching someone in a different game do that, they almost got a hole in one on it. I've never done that, but I get pretty close with these two shots a lot. Let's see what hole is next. Oh, this one. I like to kiss it, bounce it off the second log at just under full power. You'll see it right there, and I try to time it, and it'll roll in. It's a risky shot. There's someone who knows a more consistent shot, bouncing off the left, that it's easier to aim for. But I'm just not that good at that shot. I always try to aim at this target at 3 power. If I get it just right, it goes in. If I miss a little bit, it doesn't go in, but it's still a lot easier to navigate than other options. And that just leaves the final hole, where I go full power in this crack right here, but I wait, see in the distance, for the logs to drop off that roller. Because if you time it like that, it'll pinch the ball in. Now, I like to put the power to the letter R on the word power, and I know my camera's over that in this video, but if you aim it just right, which I did not do, it will bounce into the hole. I get to a fair amount on this. That one was not one of the times. That's my general strategy on how to go with your friends on forest, on classic. No jumps, no collision. Just approach the holes like that, and it's usually pretty solid. If you like this video or what it showed you, I'd appreciate a thumbs up or comments suggesting other videos you'd like to see games to, other things of that nature. Let me know.